We're just gonna go ahead and get right into it today. Um, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I missed y'all. Haven't been consistent as I should be, but my main point is with this podcast today. Well, first off, I want to start by saying, man, I get these questions, and I get these questions of what's your podcast about, and usually I just flex a little bit. Usually I just sit there and I tell people like, you know, I tell people that, you know, I tell people, you know, I just bullshit. And I really can never have an answer to what this podcast is about. I love having people on. I love talking to different people. And, you know, it's all about my perspective on things and about talking with people and about really getting a clear view on life. And mainly it's just you know, I love podcasts because you can just sit there, man, and really, I'm going to lean back, relax a little bit. Really, it's just nice to talk, man. It's nice to have a friend to talk to. It's nice to have just another human being to speak to. You know, one of the worst things you can do to someone in prison is put them in isolation. With all the fucking rapists and killers and shit like that, one of the worst things to do is to put someone in isolation. You know what I mean? Think about that. You know, we are, regardless of what you think, we are animals that love to interact with other animals, man. We're all animals. We like to interact with other people. We need it. We need to socialize, you know. It's one big thing about, I'm not going to get into COVID, but why I think people are going so nuts during COVID. So that being said, man, when people just ask me now, it's weird. I never knew what to say. And it would bother me, man. It would bother me that I would never know what to say. But I have my answer. My answer is life, man. This podcast is about life. And you can sit there and, oh, Luke, that's general. That's so generalized. But really, man, it's not. It's not. It is, but it's not. And let me tell you why. Is because when I sit here and I have people on, I'm showing you different aspects of life. I'm showing you someone who's either been through everything, who's had everything handed to him. I'm showing you someone who knows how to produce music. I'm showing you someone who was raised in terrible conditions. I'm showing you someone who is a master of their craft. I'm showing you a chef. I'm showing you all sorts of things, and people could say, oh, that's pretty generic, you're just kind of bullshitting. But yeah, man, and if you'd like to tune in, come on and tune in, because let me tell you something, there's nothing to me more beautiful than these podcasts, man, because when you sit down and you tune in, you're really getting a fresh perspective of someone else's life, man. And me personally, I do nothing. So I'm trying to quit vaping, so got a little spitter going on. Ugh. Don't judge me. I'm a big pussy. No, I'm not. Can't talk about myself like that. But back to what I was saying was, you know, you can never put yourself into someone's shoes, but you know, when you sit down and talk to someone, it's, you know, you can sit there and then visualize. When I talk to people, man, one thing I love, because, you know, everybody dozes off when you talk to somebody. Some of you might be dozing off right now. But when you talk with someone, you get on your phone, and you know, to me, it always feels disrespectful. Sometimes I catch myself doing it, but when I talk to someone, they're telling me a story, I want to be there, you know? Even if you're terrible at telling stories, I want to be there. I want to visualize what was going on. I want to put myself in your position, in your shoes. And when you do that with people, you really understand why they are. You have someone who's just a terrible boss or a terrible person to you, or someone who's super happy. You talk to them, man, and let me tell you figure out why they are like they are. And they don't have to tell you about it. They can just tell you stories. They don't even have to tell you a pity party. They can just go into depth with what they do, and you can figure it out for yourself. You know, you can figure out a lot about a person just by talking to them. Not everything, you'll never be able to fully figure out who someone is. And I think that's the most coolest thing about the human race is we're so complex. Well, you'll never know who someone truly is unless you got some mind reading abilities, which I hope, I know Joe Rogan be talking about that a lot, but I hope that never happens, because I truly, I think the beauty of it is of talking with someone, getting to know someone well, is to not fully ever get to know someone like they know themselves, and that's the best thing you could do, man, is get to know yourself. But man, lately, what I really been doing, God, I don't know how long I can keep this chewing. Lucas. Oh no, it fell on. Oh God. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Oh, dear Lord. I apologize for that, ladies and gents. Lately, man, I've been going in the sauna. And, dude. Listen, man, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm looking good lately. And look, I'm not saying the sauna is, like, benefiting me into losing fat or gaining muscle or anything like that. In a way it is, because I'm training my mind when I go in there, man. When I go in that sauna, there's nothing like it. I started at 10 minutes. Now I'm doing 15. No, not now. Then I did 15. Then I did, man, if someone watches this from my work, they see that I'm stealing pens from the work. Then I'm doing 20. Then I was doing 25. Now I'm at 30, bro. And today I did close to 40 minutes. And, maybe that's not good for you. Maybe that's unhealthy. But let me tell you, dude, sitting in that sauna and just like, for my stoners out there, anybody who smokes weed or anything like that, sometimes you get a little paranoid. And when you get a little paranoid, you feel good afterwards, because, for the most part, because that paranoia really brings up all these questions and answers you have about yourself or what you haven't been doing lately. And when you do that, it brings up all that stuff to the surface to be let out. And man, I don't smoke weed anymore for the most part. But when I go in that sauna, dude, and I go in there too long, you go in just to get a little sweat, whatever. And meditation is like this too. When you're meditating, you like to meditate and clear your mind, and whatever thoughts are in the background, or just your thoughts, and it's able to open up space for you to think. Now, I meditate in the sauna for about 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes, or maybe 10 minutes in the middle. But in that 30 minutes, man, I just let myself think, because, dude, I'm an overthinker. And for my overthinkers out there, letting all the shit just pile up. When you get in that sauna, man, it slows down. It's almost like, for me, man, it slows down the process. When it slows down that process of you thinking, you're able to just take your thoughts one by one. All of it's like, I'm kind of trying to draw it for you here. All your thoughts are just crowded in there like that, man. I don't know if you can see it, but, and then when you get in that sauna, bro, it just picks it off one by one. When it picks it off one by one, I'm able to really process what I'm thinking and just allow myself to think, and whatever thoughts come up. And it's like meditation without even trying to meditate. You're just naturally letting these subconscious and not even just subconscious thoughts and thoughts that you just have had crowded in your mind for so long come up to the surface. And when you bring them to the surface, you're able to project it out, man. When you project it out, it's good. It's really fucking good, because the rest of the day, dude, your mind isn't crowded, and your mind will always be crowded, especially if you're someone like me who thinks a lot, who overthinks a lot. And what is good and bad about this? Now, let me tell you the bad first. I'll give you the vegetables, and I'll give you the dessert. You know what I'm saying? Scotty P. You know what I'm saying? Well, the bad is, I think of the most amazing, beautiful shit to say on this podcast, and then once I have it up to the surface, I let it go, and I can't remember it. So I would like to bring something in there to write stuff down, but dude, when I'm in my world, man, I don't even want to write stuff down. I just want to let it out. So we'll see. The beauty of it is you don't really want to think of those things again. Not saying they're bad thoughts or good thoughts or anything like that. It's just, it's literally like you're literally letting shit go. You're literally letting stuff just release from your brain. And maybe that sounds impossible because no matter what you think is always going to be in the back of your brain. But man, it really feels like that, man. It feels like you're just escaping. And when it gets tough, that's the best part. When it gets tough and you're like close to passing out, man, that's when you get in that weird position where it's like, all right, I can meditate now. That's what I do. I get in there, 20 minutes in, I'm letting my thoughts be my thoughts. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to say this on the podcast. And then those last 10 minutes, man, I just clear my head. And that's when those thoughts are able to disappear. It's good and bad, like I said. But let me tell you, I'm so much more able to talk, to be me every day, to be healthy. Maybe not fully healthy. I still vape a little bit. I still eat some sweets. But my mind is healthy. My mind is right. When your mind's right, man, that's when you can get everything together, Don't get me wrong. I still believe jumping into something. If you want to start a diet, start it right now, the second you think of it. If you want to do a podcast, do it the second you think of it. Just do. Once you do, stuff will happen. If you sit and think about it, it's never going to happen. But that being said, with this sauna, man, it's not really about that, man. It's a good. I'm telling you, regardless of maybe you think it's dangerous or not, it is such a good mental health thing for me. And if anyone, whoever is listening, please take this in consideration. Now, I'm not saying, look, go in there for 30 minutes to kill yourself. I worked my way up. Remember that. I started with 5. I started with 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And today, like I said, I'm pretty sure I did 40. I took a couple breaks. But just that, when you're just bearing in there, man, I'm telling you, you're releasing everything. Some things I thought about, man. So if anybody likes the movie Fight Club, I was watching this thing the other day. And it was about a theme. There's so many themes in Fight Club. If you read the book or watch the movie, I've never read the book. I've watched the movie. But there's a scene in there where basically the people in the club are coming up to the doorstep. And they're calling the people names, and they're just telling them to fuck off and stuff. And they talk about how men have this need for horseplay and messing around and just roughhousing. And what's beautiful about this is they talk about the second father that every man will have in his life. That really got to me, man, because right when I heard that, I was like, I know exactly what they're talking about. What they're talking about is you have a father you're born with, and then along the way, you're gonna almost adopt a second father in your life who becomes this father figure, this person you look up to, who teaches you things that are unbiased from what your parents have in the image of you. So, let's be honest. Your parents have this image of you because some of their bullshit is your bullshit. Some of the bad traits you got, some of the bad things you do, you inherited it as well. So they can't really unbiasedly tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Now, that being said, when you adopt a role model or a second father in your life, when that second father comes along, he's able to and this is me talking. I don't know if this is exactly how it was stated, but for my second father was always Max, my trainer. And I love Max dearest, man. He was like a second dad to me. I love him. Don't get me wrong, I love my real dad. I love him to death, but Max was like a second father to me. He was a role model. And that unbiased nature of someone just being there for you, but able to put you in your place when needed. and there's no blood relation. There's no, he wasn't supposed to be your dad. He wasn't supposed to be anybody important in your life, but he became something important. There's something really special about that, because that person doesn't have to help you, but that person does. And I guess particularly men go through this. I'm sure women go through this as well, but I think this is mainly a male-driven thing. I don't know. But that being said, man, Max wasn't just a trainer. He would, someone pushing you hard and someone telling you how things are. Any advice I would need, I'd go to him and he would tell me how it was. And if I talk too much, I talk a lot. I remember if I talk too much, and I thought about this in the sauna the other day. I was just dying in the sauna. I was thinking, like, man, if I ever messed up or did something goofy, Max would. He was big. He's from the Bahamas, big black guy. He'd go, Luke. He didn't really have to tell me much, but he would have to tell me to, don't talk, just do it. Don't, you're overthinking. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you get in detail with advice, but when he would do this and tell me, I knew what he meant right away. And it was a strange connection that we had, man. It's funny. Another story of mine that relates to this. I was in the sauna. This big guy walks in. And big buff dude. And he walks in. And I look at him. I go, 1 hour. And he goes, what? What you say? I said, 1 hour, bro. He's like, what the hell you mean 1 hour? I said, bro, 1 hour in here. I'm timing you. He's like, oh, hell nah. And we were just joking with each other. He sat down. But one thing in the sauna that I talk way too much, man. And the best thing for me in the sauna is for me to shut the fuck up and get it done and be by myself in silence and not talk and just focus on nothing and let myself be. Because that is my only time that I shut up, and I need it. And it was so weird, bro. It was like I had an epiphany. All of a sudden, in my mind, Max just came up, and in my mind, I swear to God, I just saw Max go, Luke, shh. And then Max closed his eyes. And I swear to God, this is obviously all in my head, but I just remember that. And when that happened in my head in the sauna, I remember, like, dude, this is what they were talking about in Fight Club. For the meaning, one of the meanings behind Fight Club, the themes behind Fight Club is that second father, where unbiasedly, I had this respect towards Max, where I didn't know, he didn't have to tell me, hey Luke, you need to be quiet in the sauna because you fucking talk too much, and you need to just be chilling here. To be able to stay in here longer, you need to stop talking and just process what's going on and meditate and really train your mind. Max didn't have to tell me all that. Max would just go, Luke, or Luke, do it. And I would do it, and I would know exactly what he meant. It's like he said 1,000 words in one. And when I was in that sauna, man, and hopefully I'm explaining this well. When I was on that sauna and I was joking with that guy, don't get me wrong, it's okay to joke with somebody, but listen, I'm intruding their space because I'm sure they want to be silent too, and I, most importantly, need to be silent for myself. And, whether you think that's selfish or not, I'm in there for myself, and to not perpetrate others, I got to not perpetrate myself. And just when Max came in my mind, man, and he goes, Luke, shh, and it's all my imagination. I just thought, like, dude, I still have Max in my head. Max is still alive, by the way. I still call him. I still talk to him. But, he's still with me. The things he taught me is still necessary for me in my life now. Because when I mess up, I think of things that he would say to me in that moment. And what he would say to me would be the most 2-word sentence. And I would just know what he meant. And that's why I think that second father in a man's life, or in a boy's life, or when a boy becomes a man, I think it's necessary, because you get that unbiased nature. You're not living with the man. You're not, the man is teaching you how to be a man, and you got to soak it in and understand. And you have this connection where you just understand what they mean, and maybe you take offense to it, maybe you won't. I never took offense to anything Max ever said, because I know whatever Max told me was necessary. Even if it was being real with me to where I would take offense to it. But that being said, it was also funny, sidetracking a little bit. Before I get off my task, I want to say that I still have that in my head, man, and that's why it's necessary. And when I was in the sauna, it was coming to me. It was just, everything was releasing about how if I don't know something, just remember some of the things that, don't get me wrong, I still remember a lot of things my dad taught me, my real dad, but there's just certain things that Max would say to me and teach me, and like I said, one word, and I would know exactly what to do or why it was wrong, and I would learn from it. And that's why I think that's necessary. And I think a lot of people who are watching who've had that male figure in their life or had that role model in their life, like I said, I'm sure females have had the same thing. Anybody who's ever had that, you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's necessary and it's needed. Sidetrack, that guy who I said 1 hour to, he came in when I was about 15, 20 minutes in. So it got to 25 minutes, my 25-minute mark, and I went to go touch the knob. And right when I go, and we were in there in silence for about 10 minutes in that sauna, me and this guy who I said 1 hour to, and it was so funny because I go touch the knob, and he goes, sit your ass down. You were talking all that shit, and dude, it was crazy because I just started laughing. I was like, yes, coach, yes. And he's like, I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. You can leave. I was like, nah, man, nah. I was about to cut it 5 minutes short, so it's good you said something. And he's like, hey, man, what's your name? I said, my name's Luke, and he told me his name, and we started just talking dude, we probably talked for about 10 minutes in that sauna, man, or at least it felt like 10 minutes. So actually it was good. It went over my mark, but of how long I should stay in the sauna. But when we were talking in that sauna, man, it was crazy because I felt like I kind of gained a friend, or gained an acquaintance, So even when you mess up, just remember, or when you felt like you messed up when talking to somebody, maybe you really didn't. So there's no moral of the story. But other than that, it was pretty funny, and then we found out that we were kind of from the same neck of the woods, and I just thought it was funny and cool to meet someone like that. But yeah, God, what mark are we at? Damn, I'm already at. My ass has been talking for 22 minutes. That's how long I speak. But yeah, seriously, if you're going through some things, man, or if you're dealing with anything, not even if you're dealing with anything, man, I would say I'm fine right now, man. I'm not in any bad space. I think I need to be doing these podcasts more. I think I need to be doing a lot of stuff more. But the most important thing is just doing it. And let me tell you, man, that sauna, bro. Get in that sauna. And let those thoughts become your ideas. And once they become ideas, let them go. And I'm telling you, this is a good mental health trick. Man, I feel like there's so much more I wanted to talk about. Like I said, dude, all that stuff in the sauna, it just disappears from me after I get out. And it'll be in my head and I get home and I want a podcast, but then it goes away. And once it goes away, I'm like, damn it, I want to bring it to light and I want to put it on my podcast. But beggars can't be choosers, man. You can't always remember stuff, especially in that sauna, dude. God, I feel like there's so much more I want to say and talk about. But honestly, man, I can't think of it right now. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you want to talk about or want me to talk about on here. Like I said, this is, like I said at the beginning, this is a life podcast. I'm talking about all aspects of life. Whether if I have someone on here, if I'm just on here bullshitting by myself, or even ranting and being humorous. This is life, baby. We're all in it together. Love y'all. Stay humble. Stay hungry. Peace. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.